who is so associated with a woman, then how come they are showering praiseful words to those people, to Balaram, to Balaram, when he is having the rasa with his set of gopis. So in this way, they are expressing. So the quotations now from Bhagavatam has been given. First, proving that a person whose senses are not in control, who are woman oriented, or a woman who is into illicit sex and just sex life is the priority, then for such people, in this sex life, when you say it is greed, greed is also a sex life. Accumulation also comes in sex life only. So all these greed, where it is going to lead, all this greed is where it is going to lead, that is being spoken. So let us see. So in the 48th page now, while describing the four ashramas, Sri Narad Muni spoke to Yudhishthir Maharaj the following verses in the Bhagavatam. Fully controlling his senses, a brahmachari should associate only as much as necessary with women or those controlled by women. A brahmachari or one who has not accepted the grahastha ashram family life must rigidly avoid talking with women or about women, for the senses are so powerful that they may agitate even the mind of a sannyasi, a member of the renounced order of life. Woman is compared to fire, man is compared to a butter pot. Therefore, a man should avoid associating even with his own daughter in a secluded place. Similarly, he should also avoid association with other women. One should associate with women only for important business and not otherwise. As long as a living entity is not completely self-realized, as long as he is not independent of the misconception of identifying with his body, which is nothing but a reflection of the original body and senses, he cannot be relieved of the conception of duality, which is epitomized by the duality between man and woman. Thus, there is every chance that he will fall down because his intelligence is bewildered. All the rules and regulations apply equally to the householder and the sannyasi, the member of the renounced order of life. The grahastha, however, is given permission by the spiritual master to indulge in sex during the period favorable for procreation. So in this verse, we can see that it is very important to understand that we have to control our senses. Associating for no purpose, associating for just gratifying our senses, will only lead to a fall down. Very clearly, it has been said, woman is like a fire and man is like a butter pot. So this was going on when Srila Prabhupada was giving a class. Then the brahmacharis over there, they looked at Malati Mataji and they started laughing at her. And she was writing the notes and she was very grave and seriously hearing to the class. Then Prabhupada saw the brahmacharis. Prabhupada said, why are you all laughing at her? No, no, woman is like a fire and a man is like a butterfly. Then Srila Prabhupada asked Malti Mataji, you have anything to say? She said, whatever you say is right, Prabhupada. Woman is like a fire and man is like a butterfly. You are not feeling bad? I'm not a woman. I'm the soul. If a person is identifying himself with a body, then he considers himself a man or a woman. If he understands that he is servant of Lord, then he is beyond his bodily conception. So this answer was actually a slap on the face of a brahmachari, of the brahmacharis who were teasing. Because if the brahmachari thinks I am a man and this woman is going to allure me, so then he is not in the brahmachari ashram. If the brahmachari sees every woman as a mother, then he is beyond his bodily conception. So Maya is not is there in our vision. Maya is nowhere else. Maya is there in our perception, in our vision. That is why we should know the purpose. What is the purpose of meeting a woman? The purpose should be what has been given here. There should be important purpose. If that important purpose is not there, then the meeting is having no sense. That has been given. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad Muni says to Yudhishthira Maharaj, therefore, if one can give up his attachment to his dear wife, he conquers the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is never conquered by anyone. Through proper deliberation, one should give up attraction to his wife's body, because that body will ultimately be transformed into small insects, stool, or ashes. What is the value of this insignificant body? How much greater is the Supreme Being who is all pervading like the sky? Again, this verse is very important. It is said in the Shastras, the man should be eager to serve the Lord. That is why he's getting married, just to have helping hands to perform this task. Or else there is no other purpose for getting married. If that getting married is to have many helping hands to serve Lord, then everything is wonderful. Like cooking for Lord, he has his wife for doing that. He himself also can do. He can help his wife also. So, like decorating the Lord, growing up children in Krishna consciousness. If that is the purpose, Grahastha life is successful. Narad Muni further explains to the Sri Maharaj in the Srimad Bhagavatam 7.15.18. One who is driven by the senses, especially by the tongue and genitals, must accept the position of a household dog to satisfy senses. So marriage is not just a free license that sex life is just wasted. Sometimes you think, okay, man and the woman is sleeping together, husband and the wife are sleeping together, then they should have sex life. No, that is where the control of senses is very much important. The sleep is also a small rest, so that morning they can wake up and serve Krishna. That is why sannyasa rules and grahastha rules are also same. Sex life is just to beget Krishna conscious children. For procreation, sex life is important. Or the intelligence and the energy is wasted in the virya. We should be very, very careful about it. Because this intelligence has been given, because we are not just dog. Dog doesn't have intelligence. That is why unrestricted sense enjoyment is there. They mate with anybody and anyone. But our life is not a dog's life. Our life is a human life, and human life has been given a special intelligence. Ahar nitra bhai maitunam cha samanyeta pashubir naranam. Dharmo eko adhiko vishesho dharmihina pashubir samana. If there is no dharma, that inclination to inquire, what is a dharma? To inquire. To inquire unto the absolute truth. And that is self-realization. So this life, this human life is meant to get this self-realization by taking up the process of controlling the senses. In this, there are different processes, like some do Hatha Yoga process, some take up the process of Jnana Marga. But what is not achieved by these two margas are achieved by Bhakti Marga. But anyhow, even in Jnana Marga or Hatha Yoga Marga, there is control of senses. But those two margas are not giving so much of perfection as much as Bhakti Marga. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 9.6.51, Saubhari Muni repents after his extended association with women as follows. A person desiring liberation from material bondage must give up the association of persons interested in sex life and should not employ his senses externally in seeing, hearing, talking, walking, and so on. One should always stay in a secluded place, completely fixed his mind at the lotus feet of the unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead, and if one wants any association at all, he should associate with persons similarly engaged. So ideally, one should stay in a secluded life. But again, that is also highly impossible, because in a secluded life also, one can take the example of Bharat Maharaj. He also left the kingdom, his wife, children, and went to the forest and stayed in a secluded forest, and stayed in a secluded life. But somehow he got attracted to a deer, and in this way, taking care of the baby deer, the small deer, he left his body thinking of the deer, and he got deer's life next time. So even staying alone which proved dangerous even to exalted devotee like Raja Rishi. Example is Bharat Maharaj. Then ordinary people like us, what we'll do in a secluded life? So that is why the best thing is associate with a similar people like us. That means associate with devotees who are inclined to serve Krishna. While describing the characteristics of Rama and Sita, Lord Rama and Sita, Sri Sukadeva Goswami says to Parikshit Maharaj in the Srimad Bhagavatam 9.11.17, the attraction between man and woman or male and female always exists everywhere, making everyone always fearful, always fearful. Such feelings are present even among the controllers like Brahma and Lord Shiva, and is a cause of fear for them. What to speak of others who are attached to household life in this material world? So just see, even this Maya has not spared Brahma and Shiva. Then what to speak of ordinary people like us? In Sri Sukadeva Goswami's description of the topics of Urvashi and Pururava to Parikshit Maharaj, Urvashi speaks the following statement in the Srimad Bhagavatam 9.14, 36 to 38. My dear king, you are a man, a hero. Don't be impatient and give up your life. Be sober. Don't allow the senses to overcome you like foxes. Don't let the foxes eat you. In other words, you should not be controlled by your senses. Rather, you should know that the heart of a woman is like that of a fox. There is no use making friendship with women. Women as a class are merciless and cunning. They cannot tolerate even a slight offense. For their own pleasure, they can do anything. Irreligious, and therefore they do not fear killing even a faithful husband or brother. Women are very easily seduced by men. Therefore, polluted women give up the friendship of a man who is their well-wisher and establish false friendship among fools. Indeed, they seek newer and newer friends one after another. Urvashi is telling this. You will say this is all against women rights and all these things. What is this so much of woman is spoken? Urvashi is speaking. Celestial woman is speaking. She is a celestial woman. Actually, Urvashi is sent by Indra to allure great sages. Now she is speaking. So we should understand when woman is spoken, what type of woman? The person who is so degraded in just destroying her life and others' life. Such women are spoken. A woman who is interested in chanting the holy name, that has not been spoken. That is why she's not a woman, she's a Mataji. There are so many Matajis in this group now. So none of them are hurt because they know their goal of life. Their goal of life is chanting the holy name. In fact, they want to cultivate this in their house also. So this type of comments against a woman is for those women who are not, they are women who they are polluted. Their consciousness is completely polluted. See also the 9th canto, 19th chapter, particularly verses 1 to 20, 24 to 28, wherein Maharaj Yayati speaks to Devahuti, condemns the association of women by narrating a story of he-goat and she-goat. To whom is he saying this? To Mother Devahuti. Sorry, Devayani, sorry. Speaking to Devayani, condemning the association of women. So all these verses are very important to be studied. That is why we have now the next course which is starting after Bhakti Shastri is Bhakti Vaibhav. And I request those who have done Bhakti Shastri to join Bhakti Vaibhav. Bhakti Vaibhav is nothing but more deeper study of Srimad Bhagavatam. Study happens only when there is exam. Without exam, there is no studies. So we have step by step. First is diploma course. Then in diploma course, one starts chanting 16 rounds, following the 4 regulatory principles. Then they take up the study of Bhakti Shastri, which is 1-year course. 1-year course. Now the first batch of online Bhakti Shastri is getting over in this March. I request Bhakti Shastri students to take up the study of Bhakti Vaibhav. Bhakti Vaibhav will give you more intense study of Bhakti, of Srimad Bhagavatam. one word of Srimad Bhagavatam. Because our life is to gain the knowledge and apply the knowledge, both. Until unless there is a systematic way of studies, we will not study. Though Bhagavatam book will be with us, one day we'll remove, we'll study. One day we'll hear the classes and be satisfied. This is not going to help us. Those who have not done their Bhakti Shastri request you to join this new batch so that you will come to know four books, four important books. Uh, that is Bhagavad Gita, you have Ishwan Upanishad, you have Nectar of Instructions, and your Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So these four important books will make us more stronger in devotional service, especially Nectar of Devotion. The more we study, there's always something left. I feel to study more and more. Still, the more we study, there's something missing. Yes, I want to study more. This I have not understood. So that is why those who have not done Bhakti Shastri take up to this process of Bhakti Shastri. This in the March end, it is going to start. I'll be again putting that. Take up to these studies. It's very important. This time maybe Sri Devi Mataji can join Bhakti Shastri. Parina Mataji can join Bhakti Shastri. Nidhi Mataji has taken the admission. Neha Mataji can join Bhakti Shastri. It is in Hindi also, English also. Mayur Prabhu, take up to the study of Bhakti Shastri is very, very important. And if you're not doing 16 rounds, start 16 rounds because you have been associated. And Maithili Ramesh can start Bhakti Shastri. Krishnaveni Burkul Mataji, I don't know whether you have done Bhakti Shastri. If you have not done, take up to the study of Bhakti Shastri. And Isha Mataji is there in Bhakti Shastri. She's already there in Bhakti Shastri. Kusum Mataji is also there. I don't know who is Gauranga Prabhu. Gauranga Prabhu also can take up if you have not done Bhakti Shastri. Aparna Mataji is taking admission now. Ajay Ble Mata Prabhuji, I don't know whether you're doing 16 rounds. If you're not doing 16 rounds, you take up 16 rounds and take up to the process of Bhakti Shastri. Because if you are associated in ISKCON for a long time, you know four regulatory principles are very important and 16 round chanting is very important. And those who are completed this year are going to complete, just one or two exams are left. I request them to take Bhakti Vaibhav because Bhakti Vaibhav will make us study more and more and get deeper knowledge of Bhagavatam verses. Because when these Bhagavatam verses are put, the desire comes, when am I going to study? And our day-to-day life, the hectic life is not allowing us to open the book and study. It is truth with everyone. Maybe somebody is getting 4 hours to read or 3 hours to read. But then that reading is also insufficient because still you are not taught. You don't know what we are reading. We just go on reading, go on reading. But that going on reading without any, it will not make any sense if we have not understood the depth of it. Now, Bhagavatam 11.3, 18 to 19, Sri Prabhuda, one of 9 Yogendras, speak the following words to King Nimi, the king of Videha. Accepting the roles of male and female in human society, the conditioned souls unite in sexual relationship. Thus, they constantly make material endeavors to eliminate their unhappiness and unlimitedly increase their pleasure. But one should see that they inevitably achieve exactly the opposite result. Now, just see. What a powerful statement. To eliminate the unhappiness, चलो थोड़ा मजा कर ले. And to think that my pleasure is increasing by sex pleasure. Actually, exactly opposite. Even you see nowadays young girls, 11 years girls, they are talking to boys. I still remember in our schools we are not allowed to talk to boys. They freely mix with boys. They freely talk to boys, and the boys always are girls oriented. And in college, don't ask. In school itself, these all things are happening. In schools, so bad terms are used. One of the devotees girl was traveling with me in the yatra. She told me such horrible words. I was just thinking, what standard you are? She told me, I'm in 5th standard, 5th or 6th standard. I said, how you know all these things? But the boys tease me. Just see, this is the thing which is happening. With just 9 and 10 years girls. The boys, they say, now she's a little bit grown up. But again, the same thing. The talks are so horrible that even she feels disgusted. She says, I'm so disgusted in such schools. But we like to put our children in such schools. And how much is the fees? This is the topmost school in the whole Bombay. 20,000 is the fees. Just imagine paying 20,000 to get such type of disgusting words to be learnt. What is the use? What is the use of studying them? The purpose of sending the school is tamasoma jyotirgamaya, to remove the tamas and to illuminate our consciousness. That is why we are sending to school. But tamas is growing more and more. That such schools, they're only slaughterhouse. Srila Prabhupada calls such schools are only slaughterhouses, where our consciousness are killed. What is slaughtered? The present education is killing our consciousness. Young children, young small girls, has this thinking till the date of marriage. We were unaware of all these things. But these girls, 9 years, 10 years, nowadays they know so many things. And top of that, father and mother, they are encouraging them to use the mobiles. They don't give time to the children. In my neighborhood, there is a lady. I just asked her, there is a child, 3 years child. She said, I have kept the child, this boy in the crutch. I said, why? Because I am very busy. I said, you are household lady. I have my own ambitions. But I said, you're not going to work. No, I do something online, but I am so disturbed with this boy making sound and all. I said, you are a mother. Mother means one who has to take care of the child. So just imagine the girls, they don't want children. And if at all they produce children, they don't want to be a mother. Simple. So what we can conclude with this? That means the priority is greed, accumulation, and sense enjoyment. Taking no responsibility. That means they are more degraded even than animals. At least the dog goes behind its puppy. Puppy is taken care by the dog. But we don't want to take care of our children. That means we are degrading ourselves even than an animal. If you see pig, their piglets always go behind them. So many piglets will be there, sucking the breast of the pig. I don't know what you call sheep pig. I don't know, piglets, what you call. So these baby pigs, they go behind the mother pig, and she has so many nipples in her breast, and everybody will be sucking. So at least in the animal kingdom, they have motherhood. In the human society, even so-called advanced society, I'm not talking about those who are having some culture. If you want to see the most degraded thing happening, you can come to my society. In this society, which is known as, which is very richest society in the whole of Thane, I am seeing such people. That day I was just counseling her. I said, it's not good from your side. Howsoever you are educated, your first priority is your child. And thinking that, oh, I am just in the house. I am an engineer. I could have gone to work. What a degrading thing. I'm just taking care of my children. This thought also should not come. Because the highest position for a woman is motherhood. If she is a successful mother, if she has nourished her children with culture and given the right education in the right time, she is the most successful mother. And she is the best manager among all the so-called CEOs of the company also. So try to be the best mother. Further it said, but one should see that they inevitably achieve exactly the opposite result. In other words, their happiness inevitably vanishes, and as they grow older, their material discomfort increases. Nobody is there to take care of them. Their own children will not take care of them. Wealth is a perpetual cause of distress. It is difficult to acquire, and it is virtual death for the soul. What is given, just see, wealth. Wealth is a perpetual source of distress. Why woman goes for work? If the husband is earning, be satisfied. You are getting food to eat 2 times a day. You are feeding 2 people also extra in your house, and some guests come. You are happy feeding them. Why so much of wealth is required? There is only a virtual death for the soul. What satisfaction does one actually gain from his wealth? Similarly, how can one gain ultimate or permanent happiness from one's so called home, children, relatives, domestic animals, which are all maintained by one's hard earned money? What is that permanent happiness which we are going to get? That has been asked. Why just waste time? Chant the holy name. This time is not going to come. This time again will not come. That is why Srila Prabhupada's arrangement, what he has given to us, whether it is education, whether it is classes, whether it is chanting, whether it is everyday offering to the Lord, everyday practices, Mangalarti in the house, Gaurarti, Mangalarti, Tulasi Puja, Guru Puja, offering bhogas to Lord. Take advantage of everything. If you're not doing that, then we are just wasting our life. Even though there may be many information, if there is no transformation, then we are again wasting this wonderful opportunity under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada. We'll stop here. So, any questions you can ask? Any questions?
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. To do the Bhakti Shastri course, what is the qualification or
Minimum 16 rounds and four regulatory principles.
Okay, Mataji. Yeah. Okay.
And I think you should join. And you can call me also. I'll explain to you.
Okay, I'll call you.
Those who are interested, give me a call because I can